Welcome to the San Antonio number one redraft pick FanCast. FanCast. The NBA draft lottery. Let's go. My name is Royce. I am your host today. I'm experimenting by recording from my garage, so hopefully my connection is okay. We're going to find out how bad my Wi-Fi is. On first base tonight, we have Robert. Robert, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm on cloud nine after the recent news.
Okay. Scaring me there. Yep. Thought my Wi-Fi froze again. Rafa on second base. How are you, Rafa?
Pretty good. Got the Fiesta colors on. Good luck. We got the number one pick. Let's go honking down Commerce.
Heck yeah. Let's go. I know I was considering it, but we're recording tonight. Harry, how are you?
On third base? Doing all right on third base. Almost home, but as usual, I end up just a little bit short. Go Nuggets.
I mean, that's your fault. There's no other way about that. That's your fault. All right. So we had a heck of a week. We had a 7-day long week. The number 7 is very important for this week, which is quite interesting. But let's go over kind of the first thing that I guess happened today. If we want to go over the news of today, that was very interesting. Is that we have a new player signing today, and it's a relative. Big Sam's older brother. Yeah, go Spurs go. There you go, Monica. Big Sam's brother, Ayodeji. I'm going to assume Ayodeji. Ayo. Let's just call him Ayo for safety. Ayo. Signed to a 25-day contract. He was with a 4th division team in Germany. He has experience with a 2nd division team in Spain, according to Transfermarkt. And he also played collegiately for, I believe, was it Florida A&M?
Florida A&M, and then he transferred to UAB.
And he perfect. He's been a forward for most of his career.
For all of his career, I think.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. According to Transfermarkt, he's been a forward for most of his career, but he's coming in as a defender. He is, I believe, 30 years old is what Transfermarkt said.
He is. Yep.
He has a lot of experience as a professional player, especially in Europe. Quite a bit of extensive European experience. According to Marcina's press release, he is a very versatile player, so he can play all over the field, but he's primarily going to help out on the back line, which, as we all know, the back line's where we need the most help, especially depth. So I think that's going to help out quite a bit. Let's go around the horn with your thoughts on the new signing today. Let's go with Rafa. Rafa, how do you feel about the signing today?
It's good signing, especially with knowing that we're going to have Maloney out for a period of time, so that you do lose depth on the defensive side. So good pickup, and hopefully we'll see if he does get some opportunity to play, and see if he ends up getting a contract past 25 days.
That's a fair assessment. We've seen SAFC utilize this 25-day contract. We've seen some extensions, and we've seen some times where they just kind of let
transfer.
It run out. Harry, what are your thoughts on this new signing?
Kind of confused. I won't lie to you. Looking through Y-Scout, he's been a forward most of his career, and I guess it kind of depends on the injury status to Manley, how long he's out. Well, is he playing center back or is he playing fullback? Along those lines. To me, that's kind of the question. Where does he fit? Obviously, they made it a point that this will be the first time that Sam and his older brother are playing together, which is probably very cool for Sam and to be able to do. And I'm all for making Sam happy in case St. Louis City decides to part ways with him, and he loves to stay with San Antonio. So
Fair
I'm all
enough.
for that aspect. I just don't know where we're getting healthy, how he sees the pitch in the next 25 days, barring something unforeseen, because we don't have Open Cup, we don't have other things going on at this point. So a little confused, but like I said here, obviously, his credentials, over in Europe speak for themselves. He's been a pro for a long time. So it'll be interesting to see how quick he fits into the team.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a depth signing. And according to the press release, Marcina did directly say back line. So I assume that's amongst the back three. So he will be a center back. What I think this affords is maybe some time for Batista to take a break, to get a respite. He's played every game. Perhaps Fabien gets a break, and later in a game you can bring AO in. You could put Mitch as the center back, and it's also covering for if we have another injury, God forbid. With Maloney out, you lost your kind of emergency center back there because he is due to have his kid very soon. So I think this gives some not necessarily his most prominent position, but at the same time, if he could, if he can serve and do a job back there, then that would be good enough. And like you said, it keeps Sam happy because Sam's with his brother, and it's the first time they've played together, which is great. So, Robert, how do you feel about the signing?
I mean, the USL season is a grind. It's always good to have quality people that can fill roles, fill gaps, fill in when the situation needs it. Like you talked about, the comfortability for Sam. I mean, just making him that much more at home here. I mean, I feel that he loves San Antonio, and this just even makes it more of he's more connected to the team because they're willing to give his brother a shot. I mean, the bottom line is 2 Adeninarans are better than 1, right? And how could you not trust Marcina's ability to assess players? I mean, he knows what works and what doesn't. I mean, I trust him wholeheartedly after the last few years. So, like I said, nothing but positive, depth, exciting. Let's go.
That's fair enough. And Matt, your thoughts on the signing?
That's a great signing, I think. Keep it up, the family in together, man. I mean, I'm looking at his background. It did say he was kind of a hybrid player, that he was able to fit anywhere. I think, if I read that correctly. But hey, I mean, put him to use. He came back to America to play, so let him play.
And he is from Houston, so he is back home. Let's not forget that. Obviously, most likely he's not MLS talent, for that here. Especially at age 30, MLS probably isn't even looking at him. But some coming home to play in USL in front of friends and family is a huge thing, even if it's just kind of just mop up minutes along those lines.
Absolutely. No, we're all good. Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely the Adeniran family, as we know, is from Houston. So that's going to they're definitely closer to home. I know I know I met both, I guess, Sam and Ayo's brother. I met him in Pittsburgh, oddly enough, when I went to the Pittsburgh game last year. And I saw him at the championship game as well. So their whole family is from Houston, and they've gone parts beyond. But obviously their family's still stationed in Houston, so it is a lot closer to home for them, which is great. They get to play together. It's a win-win. It really is a win-win. Okay, so let's continue on. Our next subject is going to be let's talk about the injuries before the Charleston match that we're going to review. And the list is really piling up now. I was expecting 8 unavailable players. We only got 7 because a surprise member was available for the 11. So that was interesting. But let's continue on. Carter Manley's still out. He had that setback from his injury. He did play a couple of games, but obviously he did have a setback. Dylan still hasn't seen the field for a while since the The
Loudon
Loudon
match.
game where the turf monster just completely took him out. Isaiah Parker had the injury. Looked like he had the muscle injury in the last match. We'll see how long that takes him to recover. Loera's still out with the shoulder injury that he sustained during the Nashville match. PC still out with the groin injury. And Connor Maloney's out because, once again, he and his wife are expecting their first child. And the one person I expected 100% to be, well, the two players I expected 100% to be on this injury list. Number one, Mitchell Tainer back, which is unbelievable to see. And we'll get into this match.
Captain.
Captain. Salute Captain Mitchell Tainer back. And even more out of the blue, Juan Carlos Azocar available for selection. Unbelievable. So those two got me really, whenever they released that meme that was like the old Vince McMahon meme, but that was incredible. And to see them in the starting 11, unbelievable. So obviously you have Jordan Farr start. In the back, you had Tainer, Garcia, and Batista. The wing backs, you had Gomez and Azocar start. It's crazy to see. Hayes and Abu, which we'll talk about them later. That's an amazing partnership in the midfield. And directly you had Nico Hansen. And then in front of Nico, you had Sam and Tani. We'll talk about Tani later and the song we need to sing for him. But that was a lineup. I liked how it looked. We were discussing whether we think it was a 3-4-3 or the traditional 3-5-2 in the Marcina system. Whatever it was, let's keep doing that. So what are your thoughts on the new players that are available, the players that are injured, and the lineup? Let's go to Harry first.
To me, look at our bench. Just think about this. Smith, Pirano, Rito Zahir arrived from Montreal, and he did make an appearance late in the game. Hernandez, 2021 best 11, didn't even make it onto the pitch this game. Zico and Nacho. That just shows the depth that San Antonio FC has built.
What was that word?
People on the
what was that word?
The depth.
The depth. Where the hell did that come from?
And that's with 6 people on the injury list.
Yeah.
And 1 unavailable. Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Like
we are spoiled. We are spoiled. Holy crap.
Are we having like the word of the day?
Dude, Pirano's not starting.
No, the word of the day is Wimby. Word of the day is Wimby. What are we talking about?
Wimby. But Hernandez didn't even make an appearance. That's how deep and to get we'll get into the game here. Charleston had one of those games where they just didn't get off the bus. It's we'll just leave it at that. San Antonio came in on a mission and they took care of it. But to me, like I said here, this team is scary good if they can put it together and keep it together.
Completely agree. Robert, what are your thoughts on the IL, the players that are newly available in this lineup?
I mean, the lineup, like putting Tani and Sam in the front in a system where you're dumping balls over the top to put pressure on them. What 2 better guys can you have? Athletic, fast, big. I mean, it was scary. And then the efficiency was just absolutely amazing. I mean, just that team had no answer for anything. They just super caught off guard. I mean, and as far as the IL, like the depth or the player signings or the things we're doing just kind of lets those players kind of get healthy on their own timetable. Why force people back? We got people who can fill your role. I mean, Marcina knows how to like somehow intertwine different people in different positions. Hayes coming off, there's just, to me, this was reminding me of the tail end of last year. And it was scarily optimistic. Like I said, it was exciting. Like I said, I'm looking forward now to like future, like scoring was an issue. And now I don't know. Hopefully, we open the floodgates going forward. It's exciting. It's exciting to see what we can do. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Matt, what are your thoughts on the IL, the players that are newly available, and this lineup that we had for this match?
I mean, I went in optimistic, thinking, man, I just wanted a draw, but gosh, they caught the cops and everything on us, man. It was a murder out there, dude. Like, Jesus Christ! I'm just watching the game, just sitting there with family for Mother's Day, and then bam, 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 and they're all telling me, "Hey, you need to calm down, dude." I'm like, Mom, they're winning. Sorry about Mother's Day, but my team's winning. Like,
you're feeling bad for him, right, Matt?
What,
You're like,
I'm like, I don't feel bad. Like one bit, just yelling, saying, "Dang, this lineup was great. This was an amazing lineup. I didn't think it was gonna come off this great as it did." And like Harry said, you only have 6 people for on the bench. That does say something. That does say something a lot. So like I said, I was being very optimistic, thinking a draw, but we
did have 7. I forgot Mercado. I forgot the backup goalkeeper. But there was a full 7.
But it was amazing, very amazing.
Yeah, it turned out to be a la Madres Day. How about that? So, Rafa, how'd you feel about the IL, the players newly available, and the lineup?
Well, it took a while, but we finally got the formation that I've been waiting for, and finally the style of play that we did last year.
I thought you wanted a 4-3-3, not a 3-4-3.
No, I wanted a 3-4-3. That's where we really destroyed teams last year with that press, and that's what we got. We got the players now to press with Hansen, Adeniran, with the O train doing his thing, and then kudos to the center midfield of Jokori and Abu. They really were the key of throwing a curveball on Charleston. Charleston could not do crap because of those two. They controlled the middle, and that was something we were missing. The last few games, we were leaving a lot of holes in the middle. They didn't really allow anything. And then having Mitch back was big, a big confidence booster. And then the wild card, Ozarkar, he had a hell of a game. And what's scary is, like, once he gets into a rhythm and gets more games, you know, who knows? We could see another more games with 7 goals with this lineup. And wait till, and then I think John from USL Tactics mentioned about the game, how scary this team could be once everyone's healthy. And like I said, pick your poison with us, because now Marcina can really play with a lot of lineups and give matchup problems to the other teams. And honestly, I think with this lineup, had we played like Louisville, we would have beaten the crap out of Louisville.
We would have destroyed them.
We would have destroyed. Same thing. I think with Sacramento, I think we beat Sacramento, and not handily, but a good convincing win. And now that like I said, Sacramento lost one of the key players, I think that kind of bumps us up now to being the favorite again. Because, like I said, we're peaking starting to get everything at the right time. The other teams are getting hurt. It's kind of the mirror image of what we saw last year. So, and then, like I said, you have options now. Now you can put in Pirano in after our defense wears him up. Hernandez. Another person that had a good game was Shannon Gomez. Gomez was very pitiful as far as those assists or those cross. And that's what we're missing. We're missing those crosses in. So, and just like I said, wait till you see the highlights on the, just the good things that we saw. Like I said, John pointed out a lot of great things, and he said this team's going to be scary from here on out. And I think we put the USL on notice that we're not going to we're going to defend our title, and we might end up bringing it back again this year.
I wish we would have had this lineup for Nashville, because I think this lineup could contend with an MLS team. I'm not not on a full regular season, but on a one-game one-off, I would have loved to seen how this team would have matched up, whether against an MLS team here.
Definitely beat Austin with ease.
Yeah, Or one of those bottom feeders like Austin.
Bottom feeders.
right, so I'm not sure if Royce is still there.
Yeah,
Let's
no, I'm here. I'm listening. Let's hit the highlight package and let's review this match properly, shall we?
Charleston and San Antonio kickoff here at Patriots Point.
and game over for Charleston.
Matchup to see these two sides. Of course, San Antonio winning the championship last. Ball punched right back in. Good header initially, won it, still loose. Adeniran puts it down. San Antonio has the opening goal.
I can't believe how
and it's
indecisive the
Samuel
goalkeeper was here.
Adeniran
That's the number one thing you can't be as a goalkeeper, and this goalkeeper was 100% indecisive there.
And Musa's
Good on
solid.
Nico to get in there and kind of play the ball a little bit, but he normally is. But
He can be
Trey-
solid. He can be solid.
Did-
But he has those games. He has those games.
Did he not? I guess my question is: should he have stayed home, or should he have came out earlier, or was it just kind
if
of?
you're gonna come
bad
out,
luck?
you got to catch the ball.
Yeah,
Period.
You're
You
going
got
to the ball,
to
period.
come out.
Not, you're going to get screwed. Period. It's a
Yeah,
bad
he came late there.
Won it, still
If you're-
loose. Adeniran.
If you're gonna come out for the ball, you got to come out for the ball. You got to get it.
San
You can't come out
Antonio has the
and
opening
not
goal.
get the
Samuel
ball. So
Adeniran with his second in his
either you
many
get the ball and you
matches.
come out.
The box, have a look at that ball. They all go and challenge for a keeper. Trey Muse comes out, gets a bit.
It's almost like he ran into his backup defender, which killed his momentum a little bit.
But you go through your defender. If you're going to go for the ball, you go through anyone who's in
It
front of
doesn't
you.
get to
If
the
not,
ball, and
don't
then
come
it's
out.
an absolute scramble. So at the end of the day, you
That's
got to
what's
look
gonna
at the
happen to you.
goalkeeper and say, once this ball gets knocked up there, and you come,
How
you
about-
have got to get it. And he doesn't. And then his
How about that
defense
pass by
scrambling, and
Batista?
Adeniran, well,
Yeah, it's an unbelievable cross from Batista. But the biggest thing to talk about this goal, the biggest thing, that's the same Adeniran right-footed goal.
to
So
get it.
I
He
appreciate that
doesn't.
one because that doesn't happen very often.
His defense is scrambling, and Adeniran, well,
What I like about Sam's last two goals when he scores, he just walks a lot. Like, it's not a big deal. He doesn't get
Headed
excited.
down and right off the line, but pounded home with his noggin. Fabien
Tanner,
Garcia makes it 2-0.
Yep, that was the play.
that's
That was
fantastic
the
pressure
Air
once
Taintor
again
play
from
for
San
sure.
Antonio.
And then
Ball
who scored the
coming
goal?
in.
Only Fabs.
Deal
Let's
with it. Have a
go.
look. Up he goes there. It's a good first header and a great follow-up.
Looping ball in, and it goes to the back of the net. San Antonio with a dream opening half.
That's not an own goal.
Yeah, it's not.
I watched it about 10 times. I was like, what are they talking about?
It is a fourth for San Antonio.
And that's when you could tell the team. You could tell you could tell San Antonio's in the goalkeeper's head.
has a
That
magical
fourth
start
goal
to his career
is
in
a-
San Antonio. His third
That
in
is
2
a
matches.
sick ass strike. That is an example of talent.
Yeah, the O train was feeling it tonight.
That's just like speed, athleticism, and precision on the shot. God, it's amazing. That fourth one,
To borrow another favorite sport of Royce's, if this was hockey, there would have been a goalkeeper change.
That's it. This was a quicksand game for that keeper, and he's just in the middle of the quicksand, and he can't do anything to help his team, and that's a big problem in this entire match.
Yeah, he got rated by a SOFA score of 5. And I think that's probably bare
I mean,
bottom that you
especially
can get.
the biggest conclusion with that is the last goal. How he we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Keep going.
Go looking disconsolate, but just unable to catch him there. AJ Patterson, he's away. He's got
Just the
pace.
strength to be able to fight off the defender there.
Inside of the box and a hat trick. The hits just keep on coming for Tani. Oluwaseyi.
Can we
What
talk
an
about how strong of a
introduction
game
the
Shannon Gomez had
22-year-old has
because
made
Yes.
in the league.
Mitchell Tainer was
A
back?
hat trick for the young star.
Mitchell Tainer
Big ball
makes
coming
Shannon
in here
Gomez
from
so
out
much
wide,
stronger
played
on
into
that
his
wing.
path.
It's incredible.
Great build up on the left-hand side, and he tucks it away. So I wouldn't want to be the defender or midfielder who messes up and gives the goal away, because I think Jordan Farr will have a few words to say.
Here's Oluwaseyi. He passes this time. A hat trick, and he adds an assist.
His second assist, by the way.
An easy goal to make it 6-0 San Antonio.
Nacho!
Beautiful ball played here by Prano, and he's got his head up straight away. He's looking where Bailon is. He's looking at his options. Should he shoot? No, he lays
Rico's
it.
products. Oh, Nacho. Bailon.
Here's a shot attempt. Muse had to come up.
That was a
with
good save by
strong
Muse.
save.
Yeah.
Might not have been expecting it. But a highlight from the keeper.
So this is the one I want to talk
Now,
about,
a
where
big
the goalkeeper makes a great save on the free
issue
kick,
by Loney. Bags
He
the
celebrates a
team's
bit.
seventh. He's got from
and
the
then they come
keeper.
right back and they score.
Now
Just an absolute quicksand game for that goalkeeper. You got to feel for him.
Did
you see that little bump up? That little bump off to get that ball. If you roll it back, watch that little play. He bumps him off the ball. That,
a strong
after
save.
the
Yeah, the
rebound, you'll see
little
it right
shoulder
here.
challenge.
Expecting it.
Right here. Boom.
Knocked down Augie
Hello.
Williams.
That's created the whole
A
play
highlight
there.
from the keeper. Now a big issue by Loney.
Who's Augie
Bags the
Williams? Is
team's
he any good?
seventh. He
Huh?
Is Augie Williams any good? I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's been scoring goals like crazy. You wouldn't have known that this match, but
Which is funny,
prior to
like,
that,
yeah,
I heard he's
pocket.
I heard he's good. I don't know why he didn't play in this match though.
Yeah.
Never heard of the guy.
he does have 5
he's
goals
what
on the season.
he's what's in Lamar Batista's right pocket.
He's got
That's
a
what he
brace. San Antonio with a club record 7 goals in an annihilation of Charleston. Might not have been expecting it. But a
And that
highlight
was
from
Smith,
the
right? That took care of
No,
that.
that was Rito.
A big issue by
Oh,
Yeah,
Loney.
that-
okay,
that
18.
was the 19-year-old. Yeah, Rita.
He's got a brace. San
Unbelievable.
Antonio with a club record 7. One of the most dominant.
Well, on that, we only got two players on the team of the week, which is kind of crazy. Fabien Garcia, defender, had 7 clearances, 8 recoveries, and a goal. And then Tani, who should have been the player of the week, a hat trick and 2 assists, but only gets you.
Did he get the hat trick?
Good header.
How do you
initially
get
won it.
3 goals and 2 assists?
And I got player of the week.
Because USL
Yeah,
put it to
he got the
somebody
hat trick.
from Memphis 901, who scored a goal with like 10 seconds left to give them the victory. But he had a brace. But yeah, I don't understand it. But
I mean, it's not against the worst team in the league. It's against the top team in the East, allegedly.
well, no, they're still the top team in the East.
Well, I mean, like on paper, sure, but
Bro,
after
but you see all the
last game,
negatives on that side?
they got
There's so many negative differentials except what? The third, fourth, and fifth?
Yeah, 3 teams in the East are on the positive side of a goal differential. Everyone else is in the negative, even the top 2 teams.
But to be fair, Charleston just gave up 7, and they're now a -1 goal difference. So that's going to screw with anybody's goal difference. So I'll just go ahead and do the standings here real quick since I got it queued up here. Out East, Charleston still 18 points. Louisville 17. Birmingham Legion off to a kind of an iffy start. 5 wins, 5 losses, and a draw. Riverhounds at 14. Rowdies have come alive since they got a loan in, 14 points. Memphis 901, 12 points. Miami, Loudoun United still hanging on the playoffs. And then teams that there's like 2 head scratchers, Tulsa and Indy 11. The expectations were that they'd be better. Right now they're sitting on the outside at 9 points. Our opponent this week.
Isn't
Go ahead.
former El Paso coach Mark Laurie, isn't he their coach, Indy 11?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's
It explains a lot.
They
baffling.
spend a lot of money too, right?
He was,
That's what I'm saying,
he
they
was
opened up
good
the
with El
pocketbooks.
Paso. He was good with El Paso. And now
Well, he's
just-
brought in older players.
But
And I think if
still.
Indy makes the playoffs, they could be dangerous. But during the regular season, I personally have concerns on them. Detroit City, who we play this week, having problems scoring goals. 1 win, 5 losses, 2 draws, 5 points. And then Hartford Athletic, 5 points as well with only 1 win. Out west, Orange County fired a coach and still hasn't won. So they didn't get the new coach bump. They're in trouble. Lights have 6 points as well, 6 draws, 3 losses for that here, but still hasn't won. RGV had a good week. They beat San Diego Loyal on the road, which helps us out in 10th, up to 2 wins, 5 draws, and 2 losses. New Mexico United right now still on the outside, 3-2-3. Phoenix in the 8th slot. So if the playoffs started today, they'd face Sacramento. Monterey Bay 7th. Oakland Roots sneaking up the line at 4-2-2 at 14 points. Switchbacks at 16 points, and San Diego Loyal at 17 points, although I'm not sure they had a good week losing to RGV, and then a foreign investor spending $500 million to come into MLS in San Diego. And then us at 3rd at 19 points. And then El Paso, they're on a roll. They've won 5 straight after starting the season 0-3. They've gone 6 wins, 1 draw since then.
They are on a heater.
And then
sure.
Sacramento, 6 wins, 3 draws, no losses, 21 points. Even losing Rojo Lopez, their star midfielder, team captain. They're still going to be solid. They've got depth like San Antonio. They did play Indy 11 at home, so we'll kind of see how they get tested. With a better opponent coming up. But for San Antonio, as much as, and I know we haven't really complained, but I know a lot of people have expressed concern. We're 2 points out of first, and I think this is the first week where you could say, hey, you've finally got the lineup that Coach Marcina and Holt and everybody else put together. And we've only had 1 loss, and it was a close loss on the road to Louisville City, which is they played them in the finals, and this team could be scary good. Like I said here, I think that's probably going to be the theme of the show here.
But what I think is, I don't see why we should even be scared at this point in time, being 3rd. I mean, look where we were last year. What's to say that something big comes out of it just like last year?
But you want to get home field, though. To me, that's the key. Getting home field in Sacramento and El Paso, both are quality teams. Now, I got to see El Paso a little bit longer on how they face us, but Sacramento has depth just like we do. I think Lopez is out 3 to 4 months, so it's possible that he could be coming back for the playoffs for that here. So, to me, like I said here, getting home field in the West and hopefully all through the playoffs. If you look at USL Tactics, playoff predictions, and I know it's just a prediction, the West is favored to have the home field advantage for it here as far as the best record. And we saw last year how important that was. And to me, that's got to be goal number 1, and I'm assuming it is for Coach Marcina. Goal number 1, make the play. Is probably to win the West, and number 2 is to have home field advantage all the way through the playoffs, because to me that's key.
Yeah, no, not even last year, but the year before that when we lost to OC. Don't tell me if we would have played at home on the tiebreaker, we would have beat those guys. So you're right. Home field is paramount. And the biggest
I get that. It's just a point. I mean, like, just how we were last year. We were in somewhere in the top 4?
No, we're in first place. We're ahead of everybody.
We were in the top. Colorado Springs had it until probably June-ish.
Yeah, but we're in the top 2.
So that's what I'm saying. From March till June, I mean, I'll admit, I'm not worried. It's all trying to get things together.
It's not. To me, it's not worried about making the playoffs. I don't think that was ever the concern. But I do think. I do think. To me, why I say it's scary is because the potential of this team could be better than last year.
Okay.
You know what's
We have
interesting
better
is
depth.
like when you look at the lineup or you look at the schedule or the standings, and you're all of a sudden like, wait a minute, we're tied with El Paso. That's an interesting team. Like, how after losing first 2-3 games, how are they tied with us? That's the team I'm kind of like curious or nervous about. I want to see what they're about. I want to.
And they're definitely on a heater right now.
Yeah, it's interesting that like how did they end up tied with us? That's the one that kind of confuses me.
Well, we'll
And
see.
let's not
I mean,
forget
we'll see how it
last year.
turns out. We're
Last
only
year,
2
El
points
Paso had a
behind.
10-game undefeated streak as well, but
Mhm.
that they packaged that in between 2 cold stretches for that here.
The one thing about with us, we weathered the storm between March and April and May, because we had a rough patch with some of the games we played in, and the game that we lost, was against, like I say, it was just at Louisville. But look at where we're at, as far as with the injuries and so forth, to be where we're at right now, and then to have this team do what it did Saturday. That's the scary part now, that we're really in good shape, because we really could literally be in the bottom right now with all those injuries.
That's very true. And like I said, we're only 2 points out of first
Mhm.
place. So
I'm still not
from
worried.
what we've gone through this season, it's pretty incredible to be where we're at. But at the same, we're right there. We're right there. All right. Let's start with Harry. Harry, who was your mentality monster of the match? What do you think the mentality monster moment of the match was in the 7-0 drubbing of Charleston?
So to me, the mentality monster of the match, I'm going to go off, and that's going to be the San Antonio social media team. Happened just to keep up and all the records, and I don't know if you saw the post-game report put out by the San Antonio social media team, Kevin Bass and all the people that work with them. Job well done. There was lots to keep up with during the game, so through there. And to me, kind of the moment is as far as saves, there were a couple of them that he had that, even though we were up 4-5, 6-0, he had a couple. Charleston did put a couple of shots on frame, and he made the stops. How many times have we seen a team get a lead like this and then give up kind of I don't want to say an easy goal, but hey, I don't need to make that extra effort to make that dive, for there, or I can kind of ease up, but. To me, like I said here, Jordan Farr keeping that shutout. Like I said, I don't know if he gets an extra bonus for his shutouts. Hopefully he does, or his clean sheets, pardon me. But to me, that was the thing that stuck out, because offensively, good. I'll let you guys pick, offensively on which one stood out. But I'll go with Jordan Farr as my moment. And like I said here, I'll give it to Kevin and the team with the social media and all the hard work that they had to do on that match and post game.
Rafa, yours?
Rafa?
For my mentality monsters, as far as the players, actually, I'm going to give it to 2 players, actually, Muhammad Abu and Ja'Cory Hayes. I think they've really dictated a lot in this game. They did a lot of the dirty work in the midfield. They kept Charleston from really kind of being organized or try to, even start counterattacks against us to get into, limited to really maybe 2-3 couple of shots on goal. But if you see kind of the replays, they were intercepting balls, they were hustling back. And that's what we've been missing the last few weeks. We were leaving a lot of holes in the middle. So I'm giving both of them the mentality monsters for the game. As far as the moment, those crosses by Shannon Gomez, I think hopefully those assists raised his confidence, even though, like I said, he had a bad game against Nashville. And I think the last game, then after that, he kind of struggled a bit. Hopefully, like I said, the Shannon of old comes back. Like I said, those crosses really, I think, were a big moment for him to really kind of raise his, like I said, his confidence up, and hopefully that leads it to more better things in the next coming games.
Robert?
I'm kind of mixed. Like Harry kind of stole my thunder. Far considering a situation where you're up big on a team and you're still wanting the shutout. You could see the passion as if it was 4-0, 5-0. No matter what, Farr did not want to give up that like weak goal, that soft goal. He was still pressing the team. He was excited about saves. That thing that makes a lot. That means a lot to a team. That's a mentality. That's a thought. That's a process. That's what you preach day in, day out of practice. You do not give up that goal. But the play that kind of sat with me, it was like watching Tanner back on the field, Tanner mixing it up, Tanner arguing with Augie Williams at one point. Kind of, it was like in the 18th minute, like he's like pushing, they're kind of shoving, and he's letting them know, like, hey, it's our game, it's your field, we're winning this. He literally showed that he's back, he's ready, and gosh, even on the header on that cross, like that goal was going in, had that defender's not guarding the post, and then Fabien cleaned it up right there. That's my player, that's my moment. That right there, just like literally like it screams San Antonio, screams what we're about. So what Marzin's preached, I'm excited. Hopefully momentum continue. Detroit, watch out.
And Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna be cheesy. I'm gonna say Tani boo boo. Y'all guys are gonna catch us this year, guys. I think he did amazing. That's my guy. That is my guy right there. That's my man of the match. A hat trick, 2 assists. That's my guy for man of the match. I think he showed himself why he is who he is. That's just seeing all the pressure he was putting on, literally hauling butt just to get there. That's my man of the match.
He did okay.
This guy.
He's all right. Not
This guy.
Yeah, what are we
not
talking
player
about?
of the week
It's
level,
crazy.
though.
I mean, what are we talking about? That's duh. 3 goals, 2 assists. What are we talking about?
Hey,
Duh.
let me have my cheesy moment, guys. Let me have my cheesy moment.
4 goals in 2 games.
Royce, yours? We got Royce all choked up now.
McDonald's, Wi-Fi.
Yep. What do you want me to say? Wow. Yeah. Cool. Love it. Yeah, what are we gonna say? That's the easy one. Harry, take over.
All right. So then any final comments on the Charleston match? Like I said, to me, from a Charleston perspective, I thought they were pretty class, especially the regiment and sports group, because they came out and they gave credit to Jordan Farr, because we all know Jordan Farr likes to entertain. I'll just leave it at that. And like I said here, despite them being down, from my understanding on social media, he engaged them quite a bit, and so that's awesome to see. A couple of them said, that they're a fan of Jordan's because of how he acted, and like I said, that's just talking about the class that he has. But any final thoughts that you guys have before we get to the league news, which is about the Super League and the mixed news, I guess the downside about SanAntonioFC at this point?
Hopefully Charleston doesn't fold after the last game. I'm rooting for them not to quit.
My thought on the match is I need to make my way to Patriot Point.
Oh yeah. So yes, for that here, I'm questioning whether it was the right decision to schedule Detroit as opposed to going to Charleston for that here. But I'm excited to go to Detroit this weekend. But USL announced the Super League.
That makes one of us.
The initial markets, which is number one, applying for D1 status, so they're going to compete directly with NWSL. When they originally announced they were going to do D2, which I think a lot of us were kind of off guard of why aren't they going for D1, because it's the same qualifications, based on the requirements as we speak today, as the USL Championship for that here. But the teams that they've selected: Charlotte, with part of the Independence Group, a team out of Dallas-Fort Worth, led by the Neal family, which is a little bit different than the, I think it was the Ryan family is the one, or not the Ryan, the Nelson family, the Nelson Group that has the rights to the USL Championship. I did send a message up to Third Degree and John Arnold. He did kind of send back the cryptic tweet saying, hey, there's going to be news concerning the men's team up there. So it'll be kind of interesting if it's the Neal family that's actually going to be starting the club. Now it's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we don't know which option that they'll be, but that'll be the Texas team. Lexington, Kentucky for that here, which is building a new stadium. Phoenix, Arizona, Tucson, Spokane, Washington, which was a huge fight between MLS and USL. Tampa Bay, not the Rowdies, a different group that's going to come in looking to build a soccer-specific stadium, a temporary stadium for that here. And then DC, which is Loudoun United, Attain Sports Entertainment, for that here. That's actually Loudoun United for that here, so I'd expect Loudoun to be there. They also announced Chattanooga, Tennessee, led by the Sad Wolves, Bob Martino, mixed ownership group. Indy 11 when they get their stadium. Jacksonville, Florida. Madison, Wisconsin, which is Florida, which is Ford Madison, and then Oakland Soul out of Oakland, who are currently in the W League, are now five future pending teams. But no San Antonio. I put out that I was disappointed in that for that here. So we have the team, we have a club, we have a stadium. I don't understand what the holdup is personally for me. We'll go with you, Robert, and then we'll go to Rafa, and then Matt if you want to comment. And I'm not sure if Royce is back or not, but we'll go with you, Rafa, on the news and positive or negative with San Antonio FC. Now, I will say there is possibly 2 to 4 more teams that may come. They needed to list 8 to be able to apply for the accreditation with U.S. Soccer. That's the minimum number that they did have, but they did say they're going to have 10 to 12 teams in 2024. So there is the options of possibly 2 to 4 more teams still coming abroad for that here.
I think the positive is another competitive league for women. I think the negative is why SAFC doesn't take advantage of this. You got the facility, you got the complex. Go for it. And that now also with the partnership now with Lone Stars, now you can pump in, like I said, now you can start a women's academy through them and pump talent into this team. And that's something I read, I think, on Twitter with the Dallas-Fort Worth team that, like I said, there's a lot of talent over there, especially on the high school side, college side. That's probably going to be some of the core players for them. I think we can do the same thing here. Hopefully we end up being those 2 or 4 other teams. I think you do need another Texas team in the Super League, and hopefully SAFC wise up, and it'd be great because, like I said, the support is here. People will go out to the games, and it's just going to put us more on the map as far as being a soccer city here. Before someone else, like I said, you only have the Dash right now, but as far as with the other league, but this I think would be a missed opportunity if we don't take advantage of it.
Robert?
He left.
Matt?
Cut off.
I mean, I am a little disappointed. I mean, I feel like San Antonio is getting better and bigger in soccer or football, whichever way you want to say it. It is disappointing to see that we are getting overlooked many times. And like Rafa said, they have Lone Star pretty much working with us. So what's to say we can't build something out of that? So to me, I think they need to start looking into why we're not allowed or why they're not letting us take that advantage.
Robert, you're back.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like we had an opportunity to just expand the soccer experience here in this area. I mean, why not do it? Why not take it? They have the resources, they have the people. We love the sport. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. Like you said, I'm slightly disappointed. Hopefully, like you said, we're one of the teams that they're probably mentioning later at a later point. But I'd be excited. Like, I have kids, I have a daughter. and she loves the Athenians. And so to me, just expand it. Like, let's make this thing even bigger. I'm a lover of the sports. I'm a lover of the sport. So to me, it just makes sense.
Royce, any comments from you if you're back?
Yeah, I think it's an eventual thing. I think the partnership with Lone Star really shows their Spur Sports Entertainment's willingness to expand into the women's game, and I think that's really going to lead up to something. And I think they're going to look to developing it later. Right now, they're obviously still expanding the San Antonio FC brand. They're going to try to get that League 2 team in Central Texas somewhere. So they're building their scene here in Central Texas. I think a women's team is in the very near future. And to be honest with you, if they're doing what we think they're doing with the Lone Star and, trying to compete directly with Austin FC, what better way to compete with Austin FC than to get a women's team first? So let's do that. Hopefully we get a team in 2025. Hopefully they look at the league. Hopefully the league succeeds and they decide we're in. Let's go. SAFC Feminil 2025. Let's go.
To me, the reason why I want to get them in is you want to get in before the World Cup or the Women's World Cup here coming up. That could be here in the United States, supposedly. And even this year, there's a World Cup. There's the Women's World Cup this year, right?
Correct.
Down in Australia, New Zealand. So
right, the next one's going to be in 2027. So you definitely want to get a team established before 2027 for sure.
But to me, it would have been kind of a huge bump to be able to kind of start that foundation. But like I said here, we had Tim Hold on a couple of years ago. He did mention it's in the long-term plans. But to me, it's something that I think we would love to see it sooner than later. I would love to go to Toyota Field year round. I think it would be awesome. Great for the facility. Like I said here, I think San Antonio would show up, the 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 that would still show up for every match. Because San Antonio, when you go to Toyota Field, it's a great event for that here. Just quickly here.
Perhaps that would justify expanding Toyota Field. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Detroit, San Antonio. I'm going to be going, so I'm excited about going for it here just to kind of see the environment. For that, because the Northern Guard and the sports groups do put on a great game day, is my understanding. However, Detroit has problems scoring, going against a very good defensive team against San Antonio. Probably not the best medicine, but it is at home. They do have a narrow pitch. So any thoughts on Detroit at all?
We need to get them down early. Just score early. Put them in a situation where they're forced to press and they just give up. They become leakier because they're pushing forward. The key to a team like this is just get them down early and often. Score a goal too, and it's it becomes like a mountain they can't climb. So that's my thing with a team like this. Just literally put them up, press them hard, score early, and just let everything play out.
Rafa? Pardon me, Royce?
It's all right. No, just score early, score often. That's it. That's the key. Do that.
Yeah, that worked for Charleston, right?
Train.
Well, to be fair, under Marcina, it's worked 51 times in a row.
Yes.
So we score first. We are undefeated in the last 51 matches, which is an unbelievable stat. Let's do that again. Let's make it 52 and let's keep going.
Yeah, 44-0-7.
Well, we remember last year the El Paso announcers we can't let them score. They scored. It's over.
they literally were depressed. You saw them in that. They're like,
they're like, damn it.
Their voices got lower. They're like,
And they already have a low volume with El Paso. And I love the guys that call the game in El Paso. They're a great show. And seriously, Loco and Eighth Notch, great organization with El Paso. But to me, that was the thing that stood out to me was, hey, we can't. Oh. So, but any final thoughts? Like I said, I think we covered here. We're going to end early. I think probably the reason why we're ending early is because we're cutting out Royce's 5 minutes of his talking due to his internet issues. So I bet you next week he'll have it. It'll be. I'm not sure when we'll be doing the show because I'll be coming back.
Hey,
Oh.
hey. Catching strays over here, trying to say I talk too much. Good Lord.
Hey, we're at 55 minutes, dude. And we covered everything here. But final thoughts.
I'm just excited about the number 1 pick. I don't know about y'all. Yeah.
Oh, there is one thing that we do need to highlight here. And if you want to give your final thought, we'll go with you, Matt.
My final thought, hey, let's beat Detroit. Beat Detroit, bring it home. Everybody just go check out your local supporter groups. Go hang out with them, get to know them. You got Crocketeers at Alamo Beer. You have FTC over at Second Pitch. And then, of course, you have 210 at any of the the Big Hops. So go check out your local supporter groups. I understand SAFC doesn't always do big watch parties, but hey, when you hang out with us, makes it much better. Oh, also, real quick, the tank won in our piñata. So on the 27th, there will be a tank piñata from FTC if you want to bring out the kids.
Is there an age limit that you guys have?
Nah. I mean, Mijo does
on
it.
Who can do it?
Harry, you can hit the pinata, Harry. If that's
Mijo
what you're
does
asking.
it.
Mijo goes
you can
first.
hit it if you want to.
Mijo goes first.
Yeah, but Mijo's like 10, so he's still at that age.
Harry, if you're asking about the pinata, you can hit it, sir.
And do you accept donations to do that?
Yeah. We'll have our Cash App out
Tip.
there, and then of course
The tip jar.
So we can keep this going.
Rafa, yours?
Just final thoughts. Like I said, good luck to the boys there in Detroit. Let's score 8 goals on them. Get some more goals. Keep it going, and then we come back home, take care of El Paso. Send them back, end their winning streak, and just ready for some great soccer. Like I said, this coming week.
Robert, did I already call on you?
You did now.
Okay.
No, my big thing is there's a couple things like this weekend. I experienced XFL Championship. It's random. It's not soccer, but it's San Antonio. It was fun. It was exciting. Good times. And Matt, don't shake your head. I can tell you there's an arena football team. San
Shake your head,
Antonio
Matt.
Slingers, undefeated.
Hey, I
Go
got
check
rid
them
of
out.
those 8
Go check them
tickets,
out.
bro. I did not want to go.
Go check them out.
Gunslingers.
Fun.
I got rid of my 8 tickets. I said nope.
The Talons.
It's not the Talons. It's
the Gunslingers.
Gosh.
The Gunslingers.
And my last thing, the O train. Let's go. In Hamtramck. Let them know about the O train, Harry. It's coming for them. It's swift. It's fast.
That's Pittsburgh with the train in the background.
Harry, work with me here.
San
I'm
Antonio's bringing the O train, son.
O
We're bringing
train
our O
to
train.
Detroit.
We don't need no
Detroit.
tracks. We don't need no tracks. O train coming through.
We're going out the rails. The O train.
Any final thoughts for you, Royce?
Yeah, we beat Detroit already in the draft lottery and on the pitch. So let's go.
All right, so mine, and this is a topic that we've talked about before. USL HQ and San Antonio FC also put out has launched the need for support in partnership with the 988 Lifeline. At 98 Lifeline, they did put out this video here. So I thought it was done really well. And like I said here, I know my DMs are always open, or if you're locally here, if you have my number, give me a call. Like I said, I'm always open, and I think that goes for everybody here. But I want to give a shout out to USL, San Antonio FC, and all the USL teams for highlighting the 988 number.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone, like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline because everyone needs support. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way.
We don't need to listen to it twice. But to me, like I said here, I know it's something that we've talked about probably regularly the last 2-3 years, Rafa. As far as that, and I know before they even had the 988 number, and we gave out the toll-free number. So I'm excited, and I know Mitch had a special armband for the captaincy that had 988 on it. So like I said, if you do need help, need support, like I said here, dial the 988 lifeline. Like I said here, there are people that help you. I'm pretty sure you could reach out to any 4 or 5 of us that's through here, and really anybody in the SAFC family here, at least on social media, that follows us and Pearl SAFC and along those lines. We'll definitely take time out if you definitely need it here. I know it's kind of a downer to end the show on, so Robert, do you want to do the O train to get us out here? So that way we're not ending on somewhere.
No, but it's not a downer, dude. Yep. Literally, it's not. The message is important. It's because it's all love. People care about each other, care about your other fellow humans. That's all it's about. It's not a downer.
Yeah, it's 988's definitely not a downer. It's a very useful tool. I'll finish it out by saying, welcome to San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama. And what's life without gold?